And I think we are live.
And we are live. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Lovely to see you all here. Good morning. Bonjour. Good day. Guten Tag. Buenos dias. What else? Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
We here. Hi, and welcome to, if you're new here, hi, and welcome to another Sunday Live with Shem and Omondi, AwakenToJoy. And I'm Shamel. You can call me Shem. I'm a seer, an author, singer-songwriter, and much more. So, Omondi.
Oui, bonjour. Je suis Omondi. I specialize in consciousness and awareness studies. I love to study and to share my finding with others, and also cosmology and anything about space. Was once believed to be space, but it's changed since.
Everything realm 2-ish.
Yes, basically galactic realm, let's say.
Yeah, so how are the soul family? We see you all here. Jay, Tom, Deanna, Juliana. Hiya, guys. Hiya. Lovely to see you already there, chatting to one another.
Thank you
It's
for being
beautiful. It really is. So yeah, so much happening this week. I know that we just went through full moon. I know that.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who's affected by it or feels the effects of the cycle, lots of contact this week as far as both of us are concerned. Like, enough of it. Canine beings this time, right?
Yeah. Canines.
I'm like, I heard of you, but I didn't actually get to chat to you. So, hi, how are you? It's like they are. Do you know what's really funny? And I know, and I now understand more deeply as to why that so many of us are reading this realm as an inversion, because of how ancient they are, and because of how ancient the canine and feline lineage is, and how old these beings are. The fact that they're domesticated by the hybrids, like, is a joke.
No, but that's not really. This is like
it's a joke.
Only a slither of what they are. They just left the DNA here and just I guess to keep us entertained. But yeah, no, it's not. I mean, yeah, sure, dogs have traits, but they're not.
Then
it's not comparable, let's say.
It's not comparable to who they are. It's definitely just a little smidgen of a sample of who they are as like beings. And that is definitely a universal joke. Like, the irony is not lost on me. I was like, wow, this is
the irony of it all. This is what
they were dropping so much knowledge. I was just like, yep. So we're getting dreams, we're getting orbs, magical adventures. Yes, I'm here for it. Yeah, they are very ancient and very advanced. Yeah.
There's many.
They were just taking me through so much instances of like just explaining some stuff to me, or reminded me of some stuff that was just like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, you got a point there. They really do want for us. It's like an overdue type of thing. It's like, okay, come on, let's go now. To just wake us up and be like, look, these here is how to do it, because you're like missing the point at this point. Like, let's not do this to ourselves. This is just so much more further than what it needs to be. And the idea of domestication is kind of here to show us how much not only do we domesticate, but as within, so without, right? So as we domesticate animals, that only comes from our own level of domestication, if you see what I mean. We are also able to be domesticated. And it was so that we can have a look on how domesticated we also are. And I was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap.
But then,
So,
for the
yeah.
sake of the experiment, I mean, if it's an experimentation we are experiencing here on the planet anyway, I mean, on realm one, um, it's just that's what we do in our lives. So we experiment as well. So when you have a pet, it's an experience. You're trying to see what's gonna happen. Really, you feel like, oh, that'd be nice if I have a pet, and then all sort of things happen from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tom was talking about last week, and he's also talking about, the idea is like walk it like you talk it. Like, you can actually speak louder than words, and sometimes it's not. We come from a system where it's like more like do as I say but not as I do. But when you watch what they do,
Yeah, it's true.
Whiling.
While
Whiling. real Tom.
do as I say, but not as I do.
Absolutely. Okay. Yep, orbs. Definitely orbs. We're seeing this as well. Yeah.
Yeah, orbs. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So someone's asking, okay, Deanna, do you just walk out and just see them? Or do you ever set the intention to see them? I like to experiment and see it as I call them in, like humming and meditation. It most always works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see them at the corner of my eye, and it's like they'll alert themselves to me, and I'll be like, oh, I see you. And I like saying I see them so that they will know that I see them, and then they'll show up more. It's like the more I acknowledge them, the more that they'll show up. So yeah, a lot of people have been seeing a lot of orbs lately. Some of you like caught it on video. Some of the communities caught it on video, caught it on camera, which is really awesome. Like clear as day. So yeah, we're out here. These are the different forms of communication we have now. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to start on the etymology?
Yeah. Well, all from the field. Let's see what's going on in the community.
Go on then. Let's see what's going on.
Someone actually, talking about the community at large. Someone actually shared something that was quite very interesting.
Go on.
And actually, that's what led us pick. I mean, that's what led me to pick the words I'm decided to pick today. So someone said this, yeah. So let me get it right. So okay, this is what they say. I was told my whole childhood that I was not smart. I struggled in school, failed exams, got left behind. Know that I am awake. Now that I am awake, I realize I was never unintelligent. I just did not learn the way they needed me to learn. But I still carry that wound. I still hear that voice. How do you undo something that was written into you so early? No, that's the question. How do you do that?
Jonathan?
No, go ahead. You answer. I read it.
It's a type of trauma. It is a trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes traumas are just simple things, instances that we don't know how to let go of or release, either from our energy body or from our mental or from our whole entire sphere. We keep on rotating it within our field, or we adopt it as a belief because we sign up to these identities to say, okay, well, you said I am dumb, you are of authority to me, so then that equals that I must be XXX. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So when a place of authority, like a school, you're told all your childhood, this places of authority, deems you to be X, Y, and Z, puts a label on you, you then often adopt that label as truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk around with that label. And whether or not you're into spirituality here or there, it doesn't really matter. This is all life, right? So life be life in. even in the study of sociology, they'll talk about this, and psychology, they'll talk about this, the idea behind labeling, and how does labeling a child from so young imprint on them beliefs that follow them for the rest of their life or very far into their lives in different ways. And these are the different ways. And that's what this person seems to be experiencing right now. This this awakening to the fact that this never belonged to me. I didn't deem myself this thing. I just took it on as my own.
Yeah.
And that's where awakening to who you are and remembering who you are comes in handy, because then you start stripping away from that which was put on you and that which you are putting on yourself versus that which you are. Because there's a ton of interference, which part of, remember I was telling you about the being, like the canine beings that came and gave me a message, yeah?
Yeah.
The end part of that transmission was the fact that they showed me that you, here where we are, we're bombarded. And it was like shown as a bombardment. You are bombarded with so many inputs.
Yeah.
You'll be bombarded with it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that counts is the output, the choice of output from a heart, mind, soul coherence. That moment is still belongs to you.
Yeah.
No matter what the input, the output still belongs to you. And this is why we're asked now to be so much more in alignment with that and to just lock in on that, because that's where people feel like, wow, I made the wrong choice when they look back.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying as far as that concerned.
So if we now start to operate from that mind-heart coherence, we no longer have to blame ourselves or feel that way or feel guilty for the choices we've made or made back in the day, because we'll know, oh, I was just out of alignment. I didn't know. I was doing it from a place of not knowing.
Yeah, fair enough. I understand that, yeah.
And then maybe we can show ourselves more forgiveness and compassion. And what I would say is, like, so many people suffer these type of traumas from the different institutions that are here, but sometimes they pose as wake-up calls to be like, this doesn't suit me.
Yeah.
Anything that says I'm not enough doesn't suit me. It's not that it's truth. It's just that me and you all can't mix.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I understand.
A couple of people have come in. MJ.
Hey, MJ.
Just another avatar. John. Hey, John. John's episode is going to be coming up this month. He's our special guest this month. That conversation was so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And we don't know. Hey,
we don't know.
All right.
I was going to answer that as well, but in a bit of a different minutes. Although I 100% resonate with what you say and agree 100% with it. I think that now I'm going to be a little bit more practical about that. It's come back to what we mentioned before, and it's related to manifesting as well. So what trauma essentially does, even if you say, well, I'm over it now, but your body doesn't know any difference specifically, and then that refers us back to, know your words, know your power, because your body stores it regardless. So a certain habit you have, if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, like patterns as well, because of the neuroplasticity of your brain as well, then every pattern get registered as being safe to practice, if you will. So it's like, okay, that's the pathway. That's what I'm going to use from now on. So even if you know better, let's say, but you're still here doing the same thing, same habits, same practicing the same pattern, then it will show up in your life. And that's probably what that person find it difficult to just detach themselves from that trauma. And trauma is often associated with the way you see yourself, your identity. Then again, it goes back to the pillars. So if you had a look at Shem's book, although she every Sunday she talks about it, the way you choose to interact with these pillars is going to determine the outcomes of your how your reality is going to show up before your eyes. So is the awareness of what's going on. Maybe sometime at time being a little bit more, maybe not so emotional, but a little bit more technical. Be like, okay, how this stuff works exactly, because I need to understand what's going on. So, so you can deal with trauma appropriately, because many of us, and I mentioned once the example about if as a kid you get a lot of beating, and that's the mode of discipline you received. Even if someone that does as a grown adult a certain movement in front of you, you might flinch still, because you still, your body is still calibrated um, on that frequency, right? So it's, you don't just heal the emotional aspect and the mind, and you know what, maybe people don't just the part they don't see, and they talk a lot like psychology or the emotional aspect of yourself. You have to heal as well the body, because the body is like a sponge, in on the DNA level, on cellular level. And Shem talked about epigenetics before. You record all this stuff. And plus, that's the thing, the body is amazing, but as much it is amazing, it has its flaws, which means it can't differentiate, you know, right or wrong, uh, good or bad. It doesn't work like that for the body.
I think if we don't understand something, we can see it as flaws, but it's just been misused and misunderstood.
Absolutely.
So we're expecting it to do things for us it was never meant to do,
Right.
and we're not relying on it to do things for us that it was always meant to do.
Exactly.
So you're in this place where you're like, do this. It's like, that's not what I'm made for.
Yeah. So that's no surprise why a lot of people still struggle about how to change the reality and the way they feel about themselves, because they're like, why am I acting like this? As soon as I'm like in this place, this everything, like all I know goes out of the window.
So Tom said humanity is still experimenting with deceit, pretending it does not lead to damage and calamity at any and all scale. To me, that is much like a baby throwing a fit because it doesn't want to be honest.
Yes. Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
no, I don't want to. Hey, Creo.
So, hey, Creo. So just to conclude what I was saying about this for that person in particular, what I would say it's learn to notice, even if you say other things, how you initially react to things, even on a physical level. What's your initial reactions? Because you will notice certain patterns. And again, now we're going to talk about these two words, which is education and curriculum. And you'll see how it's being constructed and how they've made the process of learning through patterns and repetition.
Yeah, and hopefully that will allow you to release a lot of the trauma around your experience where you were told that you weren't enough or less than or not good enough or not valuable in that place. And maybe you felt like you was never meant to be valuable in that place. That's not where your value lies, in a system that doesn't fit you. So,
and I would say one thing: if you realize that the mode of learning is repetition and pattern is all you know, well, guess what? It's like if you have weed in your garden. So these weed, whether it's via a bird or a person under the shoe, they transported a seed in your garden, and that seed actually grow a weed. The process is, if you plant a seed, something's going to grow from it. So all you need to probably do, if you're still at that stage, it's plant more seeds of the plants you wish to see, which means that maybe you're going to, if you need to do repetition of certain things that are positive for you, and that's going to recalibrate your body and then your emotional system, then do so. So sometimes it's like, you know, grow more of what you want to see, as opposed to worry too much about what you're acting that way. So use the same techniques then in a way for you to change that.
Cool. All right. You want to start with the
Yeah, so let's start about education. So so the origin is Latin, classical Latin. So in Latin, the etymology of education is educatio, bringing up, rearing, a training. right? From educar or educare, if you're English, probably would say educare, to rise up, to nourish, to train, and from educer, to lead forth, to draw out, to bring to light. So edu, at, from, and ducare, to lead. At its roots, the word carries two directions: to place something into you and to draw something out of you. The basically the, I'm not going to say the government, but the institutions, let's say. Um, so they only use the first direction of it. They never attempted to use education in any other way than that. Although there's two sides to it.
I think they use both.
No, they don't. They busy put things into you.
I just want to, but
to get an output result, not draw something out of that's existing that already resides in you.
But that's my point. So remember when we used to, we sent the kids to school for 10 years before we started homeschooling. Like, this journey for us has been a journey. So it's not like homeschooling only. No. We started off with the kids.
Yes, it wasn't.
All the way in school, okay? 10 years deep. So remember at the beginning where you send the kid off and then you just start to see your child, who you know, kind of disappear into something and then be replaced by something. So when you said to draw out, what they draw out, the kid is already whole. You want to put something into something that's already whole, you kind of have to draw something out. And then they put in. They draw out whatever culture it is that your child has that doesn't fit what the culture of the school is or the ethos of the school is. They draw out a lot of the teachings that the child knows and has learned previous to the teachings of the school that doesn't fit. Anything that doesn't fit, they draw out. They kick out and they throw it in the long grass.
I don't think they draw in that point. You're asked to suppress it. They push it down deeper.
Either way, you're not allowed to just put it, a lot of these things you're not allowed to put on display. Hence why they put in uniform.
Yeah.
Or a sense of, they call it unity depending on if you wear uniform, but this, and they put it under the guise of togetherness, but they just mean to conform.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's where the drawing out comes, because a lot of this drawing out, what I would say, I've seen it, is like whatever teachings you knew to be right, that's how your child comes home and like challenges the things that you may have taught them, because they're not in an environment that teaches those things.
The thing is, okay, what the education has done, it's has before, unless you're very special in terms of, I'm not saying, I'm not going to use the word special, I'm saying unless you're very different in what the norm is as parents, most of the parents, as soon as they've got a child, the way of even the home education of that child is already based on what they learn themselves going to school.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when we're saying the drawing out, it's okay. Bring up. Maybe I will explain it as saying bringing up something. It's not actually, because what was attended education was to draw out, like to bring out
the best in you.
Yeah, right. That's what.
Okay, that's what they put on the what's it called? You know, when they got the pamphlet for the open day, we're going to bring out the best in you.
That's what they do.
What if what you have in you is not what they think the best is?
But that
they will draw that shit out.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. It is not. If you then dwell into the way they teach, it's only input. It's never output. They never take out. If you see,
I don't see it like that. But fine.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, fine. I'm just
saying. No, listen, babe. If you just don't have to agree with me.
No,
right?
I understand that, but I'm just saying. Yes, you may not see it like this, but but that perhaps also is because we're only talking about the inner mechanics of that system. When you go to, they've got a programs for you, and this shall go in. And the most rebellious children, they're like, fuck it, no. That's not I know. But I'm just saying, like,
because the child will only not relinquish anything to allow that thing
They
in.
only operate as an input. They're aware of what the energy does, so they can get an output matching that input. So, i.e., okay, that's what comes out of it. They don't need to take out. But that's why people get programmed, and then they, on their own volition, start acting the way it's chosen by this.
Agree.
Well, it's okay. You don't have to agree. Well, I'm going to move on. So, hidden distortion. So basically, a fixed system you attend, comply with, and are measured by something done to you by an institution, not something drawn from within you. A process of certification that determines your worth and capability. So the original
I'm laughing at Creo. I'm like, first, bruh. Not even.
So the true frequency of it, the drawing out, the true actually what was intended to do education, the actual word and the basically the goal of that word was the drawing out of what is already within, the revealing of what you already carry, a lifelong self-directed process of remembrance, not a phase of life with an end date, something that begins in your home, your environment, your earliest lived experiences, not a classroom.
Exactly my point. Drawing out of something that's already within you. That's great when you go to a school that suits what is already within you. See what I'm saying? If you go to a school that is for art and you're an artist and you're amazing, their goal is to draw out the best within you of that artist. If you go to a school that specializes in academics and you're not academic, and you think that you're going to come there with your art, with your arts and crafts and shits, they draw that out of you.
Okay.
To then, I'm talking about it in a system. I
understand what you're saying, but
I'm talking about it in a system that isn't built for you. And when you find yourself in a school that's not built for the way that you learn, the drawing outside can be distorted.
Okay, I understand, but okay, that's the point. That's okay. If that was to happen, say there's some things that matches you and this comes out, the intention, it's not to do that. It just happened that for you, that works for you, but the intention is to program you to input. This is only what I'm talking about. Even though what you're saying is true.
No, I'm not. Oh, babe, I'm not denying the input.
No, but that's what
I'm saying there's input and output. This is a system of that.
Yeah.
But where they're inputting and then at the same time drawing out until you are full, your cup is full with their stuff and not so much with yours.
Definitely, but the intention, they do not care about the output that is of your own knowing. That's not what the intention is. If they have an input that will cause a predicted output so that they can 100%. Get you to where, that's only what I'm explaining. I'm not, even though it's true what she's saying,
100%.
There are some people that might be very academics and that programs they put it within them might actually benefit them in some ways, because if they're gonna go into the 9-to-5 route and you know, and go and climb the corporate ladder, that might actually be very beneficial for them. That is true. It does work for some people, but I'm only sticking to what the first intention of the word was and what it has become.
Mm-hmm.
It has become, you say? And then,
you said it right, babe.
And then, yeah, so that's only what I'm basically referring. But I understand your perspective when you say, like, yeah, for some people, yeah, but the first intention was never that.
Babe.
So and then shift. So the way you could shift that, basically, when you say to yourself, I'm not educated, so what you could say, I'm drawing out what I already carry. Was that
okay? Yeah. Right. So Creo is saying, yeah, they always say that a kid's first 5 years are important. Yeah. I don't know who said it. I know that I'm gonna quote Winston Churchill, but there's some people before that, I think the Jesuits, who used to say, show me the 7-year-old and I'll show you the man. It's like an old adage about that's when their most formative years are, before 7 years old. So like, these are things we know, and as we've known them, what are we doing about it? like as the parents or as the guardians or as the community. Like, what do we do about that? We just, I don't know, put them in places that may or may not fit the child or may shape the child in ways that we don't even like. And then we complain about them like it's their fault. But is it their doing?
They want a predicted outcome from the children there anyway. So
Thomas said programming is the key word here. So mind cages are programmed into children so that they grow, their minds are caged into a modality of thinking that serves the dishonest who feed off of them. Yeah. Okay, hang on, let me get I hope I catch MJ's full thing. Okay, yep. Out of you that is original. Yeah. They don't care about, they do care about anything that out of you that is original. They are shoving into you what they want you to regurgitate, only thereby brainwashing you and indoctrinating you. They make you destruct anything. Distrust. Yeah. They make you distrust anything that might arise organically from within, because if it isn't in perfect alignment with what they are indoctrinating you to, they make you believe that you're wrong. Yeah.
So that actually means back what you're saying. It is true in some cases that there is a drawing out, but it's a predicted outcome they're looking for. So yeah.
Hajjutem universe.
Hajjutem universe.
Much love to you.
Much love. Thank you.
Yeah. It's this whole thing. I think we're all saying the same thing. All say this is what, hang on a minute. This is we're all saying the same thing in different ways. So brainwashing them young. Tom is saying, yeah, brainwashing them young. England has done that for thousands of years. In fact, that is how they colonized and pushed their systems of slavery planet-wide, and is still going on. No one has stopped it. And for such a small country, how, right? And Deanna's like, yes, resonate with what everyone is saying. Yeah. It's just one of those things that we just have to be aware of. Once we're aware of it, we can make informed decisions.
So going over basically, I agree with what you're saying. You can make informed decisions once you know what the intention is. Now, what the outcome is, whatever's going on, that's another story. But then you can choose for yourself. You can say, hey, comply or not. I am not educated. So if you find yourself saying I am not, not just saying, like I say, it's not word for word, but feeling that way. I am not educated. So you could shift. You could shift to I am drawing out what I already carry, or you could say I already know. My learning was never limited, only the way it was presented to me. And you could say as well, I am always in the process of being educated by life, experience, by my own inner knowing.
There we go. It doesn't really stop if we allow it to. If we only adhere to how it was presented to us, that there is the limit, instead of knowing that this is something that's reoccurring in our lives and available to us limitlessly.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's freeing to even see it that way, because now we don't have to say, well, by this age, I have to know this, and by this age, I have to know that, because we could be in the knowing that I will know what I have to know when I have to know it.
Yeah.
Which is way more empowering.
It really is. It absolutely is.
Because it doesn't stop there.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Then we're going to move on to curriculum, because it's very linked to that. And I see, Diana, you say, my daughter's school has had many convo with me thinking something is wrong with my daughter because she is extremely sensitive and quiet, but there is nothing wrong with her at all. Yeah, same here. There was a time where
listen, they're not even ready for, like, kids that listen. that's a whole nother conversation. I think we should probably cover it as well, because
when we go
how they move with the children is next things.
Well, the reason why we say that's the thing.
Is everything all right at home?
Well, that's something they explained that very, very well as well, because now we're going to move on to curriculum. But basically, they have expectation. There's a predicted output they are looking for, and if it doesn't fit, then it's a problem.
Yep. Just another avatar. John has stepped in and said, Deanna, I know you're not, but don't let the school diagnose any problem with your children ever. I think this has been a Sunday live, but I think this is going to be a whole entire live. It might have to be a series. This pick apart thing is going to be vast, because the way that they unfold this for you as the child and as the parent or the carer is like this. So if the whole compliance and the input, they're finding the input a little bit too hard, or the child seems to be showing some resistance, even if that is in them, oh, they're a bit quiet, they're a bit reserved, they're not speaking up to whatever they deem the level is. Is there a problem at home?
Yeah, that's the go-to place.
Oh, do you know, usually, just come into the nurse's office. We'd just like to run a couple tests.
So, like,
it's this interference starts.
It could never be a problem with the school, is it?
I feel you, John.
Yeah, this is some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, Deanna. I get it.
And again, I mean, we're saying this, but I'm not assuming it doesn't work for some people. And if it does, great. However, the idea that it must work for everybody, it's a little crazy. It's like everybody should be a plumber. It's like, no,
we're not all meant to be plumbers. We're not all meant to be one thing.
Anyway, so shall we move on to curriculum then?
Yeah.
All right. So the origin is Latin. Again, classical Latin with influence from French in its adoption into English. See that? The French, they are the roots of a lot of things, man. I tell you, listen, give back the bones you own from other people.
Yo.
Anyway, so the etymology, Latin is curriculum, so it's very actually it's the same spelling. Actually, that's directly Latin anyway. A running course, a race, a chariot. It's from courir. So I'm going to spell that Currere, to run, to move swiftly. From curus, Currus. Could have said double R, but I say RR, like a when you first speak. A racing chariot, a war chariot. The same root gives us currency, courier, course. Originally the track on which the race is run. So the institution turned a racing track into a fixed path every child must run. And I'm going to precisely little something as well about institution. We are not talking necessarily about the institution as we know it today. This started in ancient Rome, okay? The way they ran the politics, and it's not so far from what we're doing now anyway. And the way they brought in as well the idea of currency and the way they brought it in, not just what currency is.
Well, don't forget
a specific way in which they brought it in.
This society has also been brought up with, been educated to glaze the Romans, the whole empire, and give them thanks for our sewer systems, education, and the whole way. We've had to glaze them. If you've gone to school at some point, you had to glaze the Romans.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
Well, if you're romantic out there, you know that it's from Rome, isn't it? I'm just saying. I'm not telling you not to be romantic. All I'm just saying, just know where it's from. That's all. Anyway, so originally, the track on which the race is run, basically. So the institution
run that back.
Yeah. So originally, it's the track. Curriculum is the track on which the race is run. So the government, not the government, the institution, any institution at particular time in history, let's say, turn a race track into a fixed path every child must run, regardless of their natural direction, pace, or destination. So you can see what type of distortion that brought in, right? So a fixed, I'm going
As
to
soon
give
as
you
you
a,
said it, do you know what came in my mind?
what came in your mind?
You know when the Romans used to have the big colosseums and then they used to have the track with the chariot?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Carnage.
Of course. And they use the same chariots for war and, conquering and whatnot.
And that same track now is that which we're supposed to put ourselves on to run.
Well, the idea, they use the word.
Wow.
You have to see the intention when, and
it's
that's
the
why
energy
I say
of the word.
I'm only talking not about the nuances in between. I'm talking about the intention, what was intended, and where that led us, and what's the outcome as a result. So the distortion, that the hidden distortion behind our curriculum, a fixed track laid out by an institution that every child must follow at the same pace. A measurement of whether you can run someone else's race in the time they allow. The standard by which your intelligence and worth are compared to others on the same track. So we have to follow the curriculum. The curriculum is really important. You got this 3 years curriculum, and many of you won't make it, but it must run anyway.
We have so many teachers in our family and our friend group that are so deeply disgruntled with the curriculum or the way the curriculum is, especially when it pertains to timing. They feel that there's a lot of rush going on, the rush of the pace to teach, the rush of the pace of the child to assimilate, integrate properly. Even that's falling apart. So I'm going to go over some of the comments before you move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Creo said, you don't know what's best for you and your family, apparently, as a parent. Apparently, out here in these streets, right? How could you possibly know? But I do, though it's none of my business. Right, sure. And then MJ said, my kid was wrong in their eyes because he wanted to crawl around the floor and bark like a dog at 5 years old versus sitting still and quiet. Nope, I prefer the dog bit. I don't know what to say to you. Like
John saying,
okay, I'll move on. There we go.
Okay, so John is saying, yeah, my kid got kicked out of daycare because she was fighting all the kids, but she was also one of 2 5-year-olds in a class of 3-year-olds. Tried to say she had autism.
The nerve.
This is the thing. If they don't see the predicted outcome, they're going to definitely call you in and all that, like there's some sort of authority.
Okay. So Jay is saying, actually, it's really just a reprogramming. Everything was already within us. Yeah. Yeah. So Deanna said ducks up, so I can properly teach her. And then Jonas said, tell me you can't handle a kid without saying you can't handle a kid. Real talk. Okay.
That is 100% real. Yeah.
My kid ran the school. Hey, listen, they don't want to effort to do this either. And to be fair, that on the side of the teachers, especially ones who've got into the whole entire industry of teaching, some of them are there because they just want to make the difference and then have realized that these rails, these tracks aren't doing the thing, and they're not then properly as teachers cared for or respected or paid or adequately valued that which they're expected to put in. So it's not only this type of output from the teacher or the child that has to be correct. It's also this the same thing from like the whole, everybody who contributes to the system still ends up leaving it feeling some form of depletion in the way that it's set up currently.
Also, if you wanted the system to be sound and sovereign in the first place, which what you would expect from science or education, any sort of things that's supposed to benefit you in your knowing, you wouldn't have the same teachers they being educated in that education system becoming the educators, because then it's a never ending loop that's sustained by the same BS anyway. And some of the teachers noticed that themselves anyway. This is like this
that's
working.
why some of them have left, and so many of them gone into like private tutoring that's more affordable, or just found different ways of going about it.
So a lot of teachers don't agree with the way that that's run. But.
And I liken it to the whole, and because we have so many in our family, nurses as well.
Yeah,
it's just this. You're such an integral part of these systems, but yet the undervalue that they're given as far as what they're expected to do versus how they are valued in that system, it's just all, it's not one part of it that's a little bit off, it's a lot of it.
It's a lot of it.
It's quite a fair bit.
But they realize as well that they only learn protocol. Once it's all said and done, they realize even though I've learned all of this stuff, it's not like I'm going to use half of it. A lot of them complain about that. Say, now I have to execute the protocol, because I remember a lot of teachers, because we know on a personal level, we know teachers. It's not even like they are in our families. But one thing that always come up is like this constant, what was that they're doing? These they have to educate themselves, readjust what they've learned to fit what's the new curriculum. So it's like, you would think that they've just learned what they learn, and then now it's they don't have to learn again and readjust whatever they know. But no,
and a lot of the time it's not much. It's not like they're refreshing knowledge; they're refreshing protocols.
Yeah,
and that's what they were kind of.
That's why it's
a bit disgruntled about at times. So Thomas said, drugging children is not good. Drugging a child with ordinal lines. Odoral lines them up to Adderall.
Okay.
Lines them up to be meth heads. So Adderall is I know that there's this problem, especially in America, because I do have some family in the state where they do start getting children onto medication quite young and diagnosing them in schools. I think we had this conversation with John in his previous conversation with us. That episode's really, really good, where that's just something that they do. Come into our office, diagnose them with X, Y, and Z.
ADHD or whatever else it is. Isn't
and
it?
Then before you know it, here we are.
So John is saying the Romans invented the sewer system, yes, but they also invented lead poisoning, which also still affect us.
It's the truth. All your lead pipes. What are we saying?
We are not okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to say something briefly. We are not glorifying what they created, let alone that a lot of the things they created was given to them. They didn't create them, but they implemented it. Actually, matter of fact, we should have said what they implemented, because they didn't create shit. Okay, let's not believe this absolute idiocracy, where they actually went and that's what they done. No. They've been given this stuff and they acted like they did.
Yeah, it is what it is. Someone else's race. Yeah, that's what it is. Someone else's race. That's what stood out to me. Yep. It's someone else's race on someone else's racetrack on someone else's time.
Absolutely.
So hey, yeah, it just is what it is. Okay, let's keep on going.
Okay, let's
because I know
yeah,
we got.
So now I'm gonna go towards the true frequency of it all. I'm just gonna go over the distortion again one time really quickly. A fixed track laid out by an institution that every child must follow at the same pace, and then a measurement of whether you can run someone else's race in the time they allow. And then the other one is the standard by which your intelligence and worth are compared to others on the same track. So that's a distortion. Now, The truer frequency is the course that I'm going to say the closest frequency, the actual frequency of curriculum, the course that your own life energy naturally wants to run, your sovereign direction, a path that is yours to lay, adjust, and move through at the pace that serves your unfolding. Not a race with winners and losers, but a living, breathing journey with no fixed finish line. That is the actual.
What stands out to me is the no fixed finish line.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then every time you do it, you think, oh, well, then I'm this. And then you're like, what next?
So real quick shift. Instead of saying I never did well on the curriculum or at school. Yeah, I'm using curriculum for the sake of it, but it could be at school. You say that. If you find yourself saying that, you could shift to I was running someone else's track. I was my own course looks completely different. The curriculum was never designed for what I carry. That is not a failure. That is information. Just basically a red flag that say, hey, that was never for me. I am now free to lay my own course at my own pace in my own direction.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That is it.
That is it.
And you get so many people who leave school and like, I've forgotten 90% of it because I didn't want to learn it in the first place. I just did it to pass.
So many people do that.
So many. And you can't really like, there's no blame there.
Yeah.
It just is. And it's like, yeah, because you weren't running your race, your course, your way on your time scale. It was all set for somebody else or something else. And they never like chimed in on you as an individual and said,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. None of that. The chat is alive
yeah,
today.
But because it's,
MJ saying
relevant.
The beauty is that we are all divine children and that spirit does rise and that spirit does rise. Yeah.
Hey,
for sure.
You know what? And I'm going to mention one thing. Once found myself talking to a teacher, and that same teacher said they actually know that there is about, in average, around about 7 different ways of learning, but the school only use one. So they actually know there's different. They already figured out there's about 7 different type of learners. And then I guess some will probably have a bit of this one and a bit of that one. So it's like an hybrid for some of the people.
It's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
And it's funny how we call autism being on the spectrum.
Right.
And we'll soon find out we're all on a spectrum of some point.
Right. Touche. Exactly.
We don't all learn the same. We don't all perceive things the same. We don't all assimilate things the same, integrate things the same. But here we are.
So
trying to chime in on one fractal of what it is.
I know. So they know, they're aware. Some of these teachers out there, they're aware of what that is. They're like, yeah, it shouldn't even be like that, but it is what it is.
And they're just, some of them are just trying to be like, you know what? If I could be that one person who has that one conversation with one kid who then is able to affect positive change, then I've done my bit. And yes, you have.
Yeah.
And yes, you have.
Yes, absolutely. And this is definitely not a fight against the teachers or anyone involved in that. It's just
even the system itself is just being aware.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because it's
awareness.
That's the best way for you to move forward and actually redesign your reality in the way you see fit,
or not frame that which they've put on you as failure.
Yeah.
Wasn't your race to begin with. Wasn't your course, wasn't your race, wasn't your timing.
No, absolutely.
Right to Right said the Romans science was predated by the
Etruscans.
Yeah. Etruscans. Am I butchering that word? Okay, which were a black race of Moors. Yeah, the Moors. Okay, I get it now. Okay. The following civilization perverted much of what they created. And you know, that is so poignant because I was also looking into, because lots of things have been turning up in my field, especially since our last conversation with John.
Yeah.
Because he does go into explaining his relationship with Hecate and her, and how so many of what we think are Roman gods actually predate that and have been either put as people who are bad or dark, but yes, they're telling the truth, they are dark, but not in the way we think they're dark. And the same goes for Medusa as well.
Absolutely.
And the same goes for so many of these things that we were presented in one way, but find out is another. The list goes on. And this is a huge synchronicity for me today.
You feel it is?
Oh yeah, because even down to the canine contact I was having, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling them canines because they look like dogs. For all I know, they got a better name than that. I am so sorry about that, but I didn't catch your name. I didn't catch your name. Maybe next time. But they were explaining to me about that, which is when we all are able to have more awareness come in and allow more awareness and our consciousness to rise as all these creator beings. What's also going to happen is that that's going to also rise. You know, there's like, oh, whoever's in the dark's going to be left behind. And then no, it's going to raise everything. So you're going to be able to see that some of these beings that were operating in what we call darkness were actually benevolent and had placed themselves there because their expansion had got to a place where they could handle that amount of what you could consider density and be able to anchor in some of what we are like sending. Because when we send our stuff, when we send our light out to the world, it's not in one direction. It's not up. It's out. It's down. It's like a Sputnik of just. So that's why you are appearing as you are, you showing up in your authentic self, you becoming the light that you know that you are and shining to your fullest extent is so important because of how much you and your frequency reinforce the grid. But the grid isn't only in one direction, it's in every single direction, even down. There's so many beings that are there who can handle that and have made some beautiful things down there. Hence why you'll get, and they were showing me so much fauna and flora that live down there that is wondrous, that is like, they can glow, they've still in that much darkness been able to create their own light and have their own light. Like this fluorescent stuff, like it was just amazing what they showed me. And I was like, oh, now I know. Now I see.
The blueprint is there. I mean, when someone is blind, they tend to develop their other senses. So we know that it's just not because you couldn't do it if you could see. It just is there. It's always there.
And we also forget about
the necessity to.
And that showed me as well, because now as you're saying this, I'm like, yeah, because they showed me something simple. They were like, you don't think an owl is malevolent. It's just nocturnal.
It's just nocturnal, yeah.
I was like, snap.
A lot of beings from the Orion, constellation, don't appear light necessarily. Some of them are dark, but they're not malevolent. They're benevolent. It is.
Or they just, some of them just are. But they're not.
And there's our souls. Period. Doesn't matter who you are. I promise. I mean, first of all, your experience is beautiful. And it's funny because I was looking into the canine actually beings, but 9 months ago or something like that, a while ago. I just wanted to know something. I needed to know something. But it's good that you had the experience. It's a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
But I had one there, and like I say, as far they ain't no dark. Well, they were purple. This being, and one was an absolute arsehole. Me to say,
You want to just tell them what your contact story was?
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, I'll tell them real quick. No, I'm saying that
No,
because
say
I
it
want
because I
people.
was laughing.
I want people to understand that just because this all these ideas, and this is why even for the education system, I don't see it as bad. I don't see anybody who trying to necessarily mean bad, because within that is some people who actually feel they're doing their best and really
And
want
they
to help
are.
out, and in a way they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I had this experience. I'll say briefly. So basically, um there was this being purple, massive being, probably 7 foot, over 7 foot, 7 8 foot, 7 8 feet, that's how you say it. And then and basically they were trying to control other people there that was living there, living their life, humanoid form. I mean, it was all humanoid form, but with I would say enhanced features. And I was one of them, but I was an hybrid there. And they decided they want to control me as well. And I let them know that I'm one of them, but I'm just an hybrid. And one didn't want to listen, but the funny thing with telepathy, you know the personality and you know everything about them. So I knew they had a fight. Same person had a fight with their son, and he had his son basically handled him, because they are of big nature. So they tend to just be very physical with people, just because they know they're quite big. And I was tall as well. I was, maybe they were say 7 foot 7 or 8, and I was like 7 feet. I was just a little smaller, but I was purple and blue. And they had this device, and because I didn't want to comply, he trying to just it's like a taser, trying to tase me. But I told him this, this doesn't work on people like you. I'm like you, so it's not gonna work. And he trying to tase me, but I had this ability where wherever the intention was, I can redirect to him, and I redirected to him that attention, and he felt the whole feeling of being tased, and he couldn't believe it. But he wasn't even a bad person. He just was operating in a system, in an sort of educational system, if you will, or like a governance system, that where he felt that he was playing his role fully, but he was just a bit of an arsehole and hard-headed. But as a result, it just, because he didn't want to listen, he suffered the consequence of that. And it wasn't even a thing. It wasn't a thing of bad or good or bad. It was just systems, pillars, like you say, like structures, and people operating within these structures.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I also because I was an hybrid, I had also the ability to use telepathy, but it wasn't telepathy as you know it, where you would just talk to someone and send them words and they receive the words. It was like as I can map out your life. So basically, I can know, say, and it's related to the frequency of which it is necessary for me to know. So if you're trying to be hard-headed, I will see in you something of the same nature that took place, and I will warn you about it telepathically, because that being was telepathic as well, but not as in depth of what I was.
I understand.
But he opened my skin when he did that tasering things, but my skin self-filled immediately. Like there was sort of, when he did it, there was rippled in my skins, like blue and purple. It was rippling. But so it doesn't matter, and it wasn't necessarily light. So in reference to what you say, it was pretty of a dark place. It wasn't very bright, but it wasn't necessarily malevolent. It was just,
I can't hold you. Like I've been, hey,
was versions of what this is here. Yeah, I wouldn't say lighter. It's difficult to explain, but it's a different type of distortion.
I'm seeing in the chats and the soul families out here saying, look, disclosure is going to happen regardless. And Tom is stating, yeah, do not expect disclosure from those who have kept secrets. created illusions and continue to push lies and create narratives, the pattern of secrets and lies shows they will not be honest. And I think that us awakening to us and us having more experiences like this, where our memory comes back, where our instances come back, and after you have them, these are not like faint dreams that may have happened. These are things, it's like, no, that happened, I remember it. It's like a full-blown memory. It's that you remember how you feel, you remember what people were thinking, you remember where it was. There's no ifs, buts, and maybes. And the more of us that start having these experiences, it's like we'll share them, and then 1 + 1 will start being 11. That's all I'm saying. It's just like it will start lining up for everyone.
These dog, looking like being that you were in contact with. I mean, they are very knowledgeable beings. There's some beings now that are, and they're very ancient. So they're coming in now, and they're not going to tell you the same thing that what you would expect. Is so much, because even now that in that experience, I realized like, telepathy can be way more
than what we.
It's not exactly and it's only it's frequency based. So you're only going to read what is necessary because you're in that frequency of that.
But you can read it, but in its entirety. So it's not just a thought, it's a feeling and a knowing, and it's all of your clears tuned in.
Yeah, but it only is, there's still a narrowness to it, whereas it's only going to be portraying to this. So you can't be nosing around in people's personal stuff, because there was nothing else. And that was just what was necessary for that situation.
The distortion here is that, you're a mind reader.
And now you're going to read
everything, and you're going to read my mind.
No,
it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah, it is.
And it's more specific in the moment. It's like a specificity. Like it's so much more focused and tuned in. Like how you would tune into a radio station and have a clear channel on something.
But even these beings that contacted you, they were very specific.
Extremely.
They're not coming here.
I wasn't expecting it though. So I was like, I'm open to contact. But then I'm thinking, well, I've already had contact with
this is it. But this is it. You say we're not expecting this. My point is not about expecting, it's the frequency match to which you are ready to receive. And we mentioned it in the last things about synchronicity.
Yeah.
You only receive that because you're ready to receive that.
Yep.
That's it. It's like you're a perfect match to receive this.
Yeah. And it's I feel like as well, even though some of the information can be somewhat new to me or interesting to me, like, oh wow, I haven't heard it like that before. My ability to like integrate it or accept it as like somebody's perspective on something is like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I could see that. I wasn't closed off at any point to what it is they were trying to share with me.
That's my point. This is my point. This is what was so great. What we talked about synchronicity with our last episode, but that's why they came.
Yeah,
it's like because everything is already played out. But my point is, if you were not that, it was going to play out that way.
Yeah,
because you're already there. Or which
So D Fish has come through again. Hey D Fish, and
hey D Fish
shouted out Jonathan Ashford teaching. So if anyone's interested, you can go and check out Jonathan Ashford teaching. I think you brought up last live as well. So yeah, if anyone's interested, go check it out. I'm sure that there's somebody who covers some of these stuff as well. Like at the end of the day, this information is out for all of us to be able to share.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are we ready to move on?
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
As again, like I'm not going to go too deep into it because I've got readings to do today, but I'll go for it. Okay, so today I'll be going through part of chapter 1 on my book, The Pillars of Governed Mind. And as I go through these, I like to go back and forth with you guys, explain some stuff. So if you do have any questions, I will just answer about it. So the actual first chapter is education.
Yeah, and then it's important, I think, to say that this is also from an OB that you had. You draw that all of that as well from that particular
Yeah.
out-of-body experience.
Yeah, this is from an experience that I had that I was like, okay, I'm going to share this and put it together and share it. So the modern form of education, as many experience it today, did not always exist in this way. Before structured systems became widespread, learning often happened through apprenticeship, mentorship, family knowledge, and direct experience. People learned by doing and observing and being guided over time. There was more variation, more flexibility, and more connection to the individual. As societies industrialized, the need for coordination increased. Larger systems required people to arrive at set times, follow instructions, and work within defined roles. And education began to reflect this. Two strong influences shaped this shift. First, military organization, with its emphasis on discipline, routine, hierarchy, and following instructions. And second, the industrial factory systems, with their time schedules, repetition, efficiency, and output. Yeah. And that's the thing I wanted to say. War and business. I was like, no shit, Sherlock. It's just, yeah, sounds like it. And I think a couple of weeks ago we spoke about time and what it used to run on, and it was very much a localized thing, and how it used to be more based on what the locals would do and what that local weather would be like, and how they would operate as maybe a town or a city or a community. And as we started to have the need to globalize or to synchronize this outstretched power, that had us all fall into different formations. So yeah.
So I'm seeing two things real quick. I'm just going to cover. So
Sure, go for it.
So Jay is saying, well, we leave you, leave your body and go for yourself. I don't know what you say, yourself. If it's an actual dog head or a mask, and come back to let me know. Either way, kiss the pooch on the cheek for me while you're there. Just something to know as well as the word is being presented or presenting themselves is out of choice. Now, many of these beings are somewhat formless. It's depending on how they want to show up. That depends. So when you refer to the mask, they're shapeshifters and they could present themselves as that. But there is factions that are looking basically like dogs.
And canine in appearance.
In appearance, and every species you have here on this planet is a laboratory planet. It has been there for experimentation. They are from a lineage. It is not they're not stories, just stories. That's what makes this world what it is. So that's to be remembered as well. And I'm seeing as well, the fish is saying, hi guys, do you believe OB is same as ND? Yeah, pretty much. It's just the ND is not controlled and OB is a lot more controlled or expected. So that the outcome will be different.
And sometimes OBEs aren't really controlled if you don't feel like you. It depends on what you're.
Yeah, but that's what's expected.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Once you know what it is, you like.
But the experience of it, the remembrance of it, how we integrate it, I think is all done on a soul agreement level. If you're doing something in your life that you on a soul level have been like, we need to reroute this, or I need to really give you this piece of information, maybe it will appear to you in your life and your experience as an NDE. Or maybe you're somebody who has an OBE, or maybe you've had one or two, or maybe you're someone who has a lot of them. It's different for each. It's different for each person's path, but inevitably, it's us knowing that we are more than just this experience, and us having that realization and getting some insights. Yeah, that we may or may not use. it still comes down to our choice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like this input thing that was showing me, yeah, you can have all the inputs you want. The output is only going to come down to that choice in the moment of you choosing, what am I going to do next? What's my next step? Hence why whenever I give a reading, I'm saying, look, my readings, I'm just here giving what's out there in the field as a choice. The choice is still going to come down to the person who wants to go forward.
Yeah.
And or also, wherever they want to go.
I see what our Diffish is saying as well. You're saying, I've been informed, and OB is experienced through the lens of the ego, and an ND is not both, depending. That's why there is it's been covered by few people about the importance of detaching yourself from your physical appearance here. So when you're on the other side, your experience is not controlled, or it's not stirred by your belief system. So there is a ways in which this can not take place.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on moving on with the reading. There are many ways to learn. You already know this. Some learn by listening, some by doing, and some by watching, some by feeling their way through something. And some need structure, and some need space or repetition. Some need freedom to explore and experiment. Learning has always been a spectrum. So what often happens within structured systems is that learning becomes narrowed into one main way, a way that can be measured, repeated, and compared. So the reflection here is for like the classroom where the curriculum runs. We've got the education where the system decides how learning happens and who keeps up. How that's also used in occupation is teachers are occupied in delivering the required curriculum.
There you have it. Isn't it?
And as far as the energy exchange part of that, attention, time, and compliance are given in exchange for a grade. I'll say that again. Attention, time, and compliance are given in exchange for a grade. And this is exactly why I was saying for the input and output, that's their output, that's the input, that's that flow that I was talking about. And then environment, you've got the rows of desks, you've got the bells, you've got the timed exams, and it's a factory designed to produce uniform output. And this wasn't shown to me as anything that was malevolent. It just was shown to me as what is now. Like, guys, this is what you lot have created up to now.
It is what it is, isn't it?
That's why your experiences look the way it does now, because of your collective choices and compliance up to now. I was like, okay. So the reflection is, was I ever taught in the way that I naturally learn? I'm going to pause here because when that reflection was shown to me, it took me on a whole clearing of my field when it came to my education system, like how I'd interacted before with the education system, because the answer was really no. But I always knew it to be no. And I knew that from the first day that I even went to like little school, like primary school. I was like, this place is not for me. I already knew it. And I'd already asked my parents, like, how long am I expected to go to school? And they said to me, oh, people leave school at 15, 16. And I was like, oh, great. As soon as I'm 15, I'm leaving. And then they were like, oh, no, but you're not, because you're going to go to uni. And I was like, but how long is uni? Well, you're going to be a lawyer, so that's what.
As long as it takes.
Yeah. They were like, Uncle Fred's been in law school for years now, so it's until you pass. I was like, so what? I'll be like, he's in his 30s. What are we doing here? So what? Most of my life. I was like, nah.
Yeah,
it was a tough one. Okay. Second reflection. What did I come to believe about myself when the answer was no? So what did I come to believe about myself when the answer was no? And for me, I felt like many, and like that person who had, dropped their shared what their concern was, what they're going through now through their awakening, is that was a lot of my formative years, being told that I don't fit because I wasn't of value, because I wasn't up to scratch. And I took a lot of that on as feeling like I was less than. But then that also led to me leaning too hard into my other abilities. So, for example, I sang and I wrote. Those are two things that came easy to me. So I leaned into my singing and my writing, and I used that as like my get out of jail free card. But I leaned into it so hard that I didn't even leave space, because I was so concerned with just getting away from that I didn't leave space to see that I was that. And because another thing that it had taught me in school, or that I'd learned in school from this form of system, was that you should only aim for one thing, be that thing, and then do that thing.
Yeah.
You want to be a doctor, go be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer, go be a lawyer. You see what I'm saying? The pivot thing, let's be real, kind of came in with millennials. After 2008, people just started to slowly accept that maybe what you learn in school, you might have to pivot out of. But before that, it was not in the consciousness. Let's be real, people. It was not there. People went to school, became something, and that's what they did for the rest of their working life. And then they went and had their pension and then did whatever, right?
Real.
That pivot was only even really introduced to us and accepted after 2008, when it was like, so many people lost their jobs, so many jobs disappeared from the market, so many things came in as we ushered in more technology. There was so less need for certain jobs.
Yeah.
People found themselves having to go to school and then pivot out of what they'd learned and learn something else and then go into that. Before, that was unacceptable. Now, what are we asked to do? Now we're asked to do what? And have we called this in as a consciousness now because we're not happy with the system? So I know that people do fight the idea of AI and all these things coming in, but have we on some level called it in? Because if we don't accept that we have, then what is it we're asking for? We're asking to have a respite, in able to stand back. And even if this appears like it appeared to some of us like a crash, right? The 2008 crash. And for some of us, we felt it so much that we had to look at it. It's the same as when 2020 came. A lot of us weren't happy with the commute to work, how much time we were away from our family. And it appeared to us in such a power moment way. So much of us rejected it and were so angry at the time, we didn't see the opportunity as well. So with everything that comes our way, if we see it through our I am instead of the ID we're not really happy with, we can see where it serves us. We can see where the universe bends to our will. And if there was that day you were going to work and you were like, there's got to be more, but then you get laid off, instead of seeing it as, see the system and they and it's an opportunity. The universe was listening, whether you call it God, the universe, source was listening, heard you. So what's presented to you as destruction is sometimes just your opportunity, is all the time your opportunity to just lean into that, what you can benefit from it. Anything that falls away, it wasn't meant for you. Anything that stays, you're the vibrational match to. And if everything's gone, then you're ready for something new. You're ready for something more. You're ready for something better.
Yeah.
And if you've been complaining and now it's gone, It's not you don't know what you got till it's gone. It's that you're ready for something new. And when this education part of this pillars thing was shown to me, that was the depth and breadth to like show me that's why you went to school. That's why it ended up like this. That's where you learn what an ambush was. That's where you learn what discernment was. That's where you learn what friendships you can accept or not accept, or what it feels like. There's so much. And as much as it didn't fit you, what did you take from it?
Yeah.
And how have you let that experience serve you? So it's not about throwing away the pillar of education. It's about reframing how you, as an aware being, as a consciousness, taps into it and takes only that which serves you. And that's what was shown to me. So I'm going to pause there because I still want to give this reading today. So, and we're already at 125.
I'm going to go through quickly for the comments. So I see Jay say, either way, we can explore the truth for ourselves, Omondi. But I agree with you. I never implied the fact that you shouldn't go and check for yourself. All I'm saying is that it's to be understood that being somewhat choose also the way they want to show up. It doesn't mean they necessarily look like that, but there is a Canaan faction that's there. But you can go and check it for yourself, of course.
Yeah.
That actually you should.
If Tom, you care to.
If you, yeah, I mean, if you even care to. Tom, you're saying I have experience with powerful hallucinogen and have been dead twice. Just saying hallucinating heavily and being dead sure feels similar. The commonality is consciousness out of physical form. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also say,
hey, Trevor.
Tom say, Shem nailed it. Hey, Trevor. Let's keep going. That was the year I graduated. My grade was done with the BS. We literally didn't participate in anything at the prep rallies. We all sat there and didn't participate. Yeah, we were known as disruptive. Yeah, Diana. I understand. Troublemakers who broke all the rules. Yeah, that's just usually the way they label.
My attendance was 49%.
Well,
they wanted me to do work, right? I did the work.
You did.
I did the work. It's just I don't have to do it here.
Yeah.
Right. I'll do it and I'll get it to you. Done. Other than that, my time is mine and I'll do what I need to do with it.
So, Trevor, you're saying, I think more AI, the better. Freedom to do more as a person. Yeah, you can see like that. Absolutely.
You can see it like that.
So, Tom, domesticated to the strong and the dark hearted both means easy fed food. I carry an animalistic predators mentally. Without my moral center, I could make lots of money exploiting the weak.
It's a choice, isn't it? It's that choice. No matter the input, that final choice is ours. Yeah. That rests with you.
Yeah, and Diana is saying, right, I literally got arrested on my school field trip when I was a sophomore or junior in high school.
It is what it is. Okay.
Tom, you're saying we're on fire today. Listen, try to do our best. Oh, by the way, guys, do press like. Let's guess.
Or the hype. I think there's a hype thing that you could do.
You can do that as well. If there's the hype button, just do it, or do it afterwards. It doesn't matter. Let's reach out to New Horizon.
Yeah, let's get this out to as many people as possible. Yeah. Our soul family is out there. I've seen them. It's just calling them in and making this conversation grow so that more of us can share this amongst ourselves. This is wonderful.
Can we figure back? What is that? What is his name in X-Men? Xavier?
Oh,
just reaching out to all the
X-Men. All the other X-Men.
All the other X-Men.
Is it called X-Men? What are they called? Mutants?
Mutants. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. So Shem is about to cook for our reading. Her reading. That might be you guys reading. But, So what are you doing today?
You know what? There was this morning in meditation, because now I've been called, like, I know that I know there are so many clears that I use, and I've been kind of like sidestepping them a little bit, but I know I'm now called to focusing on them more. So in my morning meditation, a couple things came through, relevant for some, whoever it is, a couple of numbers. So 65, 20, the number 76, and a place where it's by a lake, but very beautiful in spring, but in the winter months, snowed over to the point where it's like, whatever you need at the local shop, do not forget the milk and go back home, because it's going to be a palaver to get back and just get the milk. It's one of those places. Very beautiful, very picturesque, very small town. Everybody knows everybody, that type of place. There's a lot of love there, and there are a lot of people there who share the same soul family. So that is for someone there. You know, when there's a handgun, like a shotgun pellets, the red ones from red pellets, and onions, someone going to shop for that specifically, and then simultaneously interacting with the ducks at spring, and sometimes the ducks adhering to them and following them. You know, when the ducks imprint on you sometimes, and they follow you. So they'll be like somebody who goes on the walk, and like they'll go with their family, but the families of 3. So I'm getting 1 masculine, 2 feminines, and they'll be followed by these ducks that have imprinted on them because they're locals, and just happened as they've gone and visited. And also the number 44 and 12. Also the idea around somebody waking up a lot in the middle of the night, like just randomly, like not scared or anything like that, not even needing to do anything, just random wake ups. So life being simplified is the message. Life being simplified in the most loving way. So if there is any worries that any of these people have, if any of these numbers do speak to you, or these happenings do speak to you, life is being simplified. Life as you know it is being simplified in whatever way that means to you. All right, so that's what came through this morning. And now, all right, thank you. What we got here? Wow. We have love, purification, success, leadership, and opening. All right. I felt called to show this leadership and opening. And for some of you, it's because there is a new endeavor that you're going for. Like if you, like a new endeavor that you're going for where your leadership skills are going to be needed in some ways, are literally coming into bloom. And that's what I'm shown here. That's what I'm shown here. The number 47 and 33, relevant for some. Stepping up, but stepping up in a way that is loving to yourself. So maybe you're somebody who used to work a job that used to be a bit demanding on them. This new way to move forward in what you call successful, and your new idea of success, is much more loving on your system, is much more peaceful to the way that you have chosen to move forward. And that's being accepted as well by your team, your spirit team, and everything in your environment is falling into place to provide that for you. So if that is for anybody who is going up for any leadership roles, there is success in the way that you are going to do this approach, even though you may have been told that that's not the way you do things, or that's not going to work because you need to do harder or go about it in a more traditional way. You know now in your heart that this is something that is more loving to your system and will be able to be more peaceful for you, and will be successful because of those 2 reasons. And that will be your newfound form of success, will be through walking forward into this new situation or this new opportunity with love in your mind and with peace. So there definitely is a heart space, mind, soul coherence here that you're going to be moving forward into. You're very much supported in this by Source, and this unfolding is already here for you. It will be unfolding perfectly in the way that really best serves you. So that's a great piece of news.
By the way, our numerology of all these numbers, 65, 20, 76, 44, and 12, all result to 1. So
Do they?
So it's unity. I calculated
Oh,
it.
thank you.
Yeah, so you know it's unity. So it might not be one of these numbers means specifically something, but the sum of these numbers may. And when I got the result here on the screen, we had 1111.
All right.
Fancy that.
Okay. Now I'm also going to equally pick out.
So Diana say, I have been having wake ups a lot recently, every night.
Yeah, just showing like there's nothing wrong with you or anything. This is just how it's going to be moving forward. Every time you just update yourself, it's just going to be like, yeah, boom. There's nothing wrong. If anybody's worried about it, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. I'm getting the letter A, C, and H. All right. Oh, thank you. All right. The mother. The mother has fallen out. Okay. I wanted to show the mother. The way it fell out, though, was sideways. And then I was guided to kind of like put it upright. And this is because this is based around someone healing some of their mother wounds. So this is quite specific. So just don't try and make this fit. But mother wounds aren't just a problem with your own earth mother. It's your ability to see how you can nurture yourself as well. So that's going to be ways that you turn up as mother for yourself. A lot of the collective here have healed that or are on that journey right now. So I am speaking to a specific. Yeah. We've got 7 of Wands right here. Now, before, and this is why I was, okay, this is very, okay. So this is why it came out as well like this and was corrected. There is a healing right now that has already happened. So you've closed this out. And it's your ideas, your old ideas as to what it was to mother, to be mothered, or to have some form of, it's like an idealistic view of what it was to have a mother or to be mothered, or what you should do or how it should be in your life, or where you should place that, or feeling less than in some way, or having some weight being held around that subject, has now been put in a place now where you're not letting old traumas or old ideas touch it. If you see here, this stick remains untouched. And while you can see it's bandaged and had broken at some point, it's fully healed. It's now got blooms on it and nothing is quite touching it. That's where you've placed it. You haven't put yourself in new situations that will reopen some of your old wounds around this area. And it's a lot to do with your idea around what it is to mother, what it is to nurture yourself. Maybe you were too far in your masculine energy and felt like that was something that was out of your capability. Or maybe you'd experienced something by thinking, well, it wasn't there for me, so I don't know about it. And now you've realized that it's a frequency that you always held within you, and you are readily available to express that to yourself. And with that knowing, you have made this an untouchable knowing in your space, and it's now reflecting out into your daily life. As within, so without. You've definitely put that to bed.
So Cryo say, I have been getting up for no reason 3 a.m., not wanting to use the restroom.
It just is like, it's the way it was shown was like, yeah, this is happening. And I was like, why? And they were like, it just is right now. It's just part of what is. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, this is what you're closing out. The idea of it used to really be something of quite pain and anguish, but now you have a whole new untouchable idea about it. Something else more special has been birthed from your misunderstandings or misplaced importance on what that means, or you doing without. You realize you were never without, and that's birthed something untouchable within you. It's been a form of healing or protection, or not being able to be triggered by that subject anymore as well for some of you. It's just like, it's not where the conversation used to really bother you, or there used to be a lot of pain around it. You've now navigated and seen a different perspective. So now it's in a way where it's like, and you've alchemized that for yourselves.
So MJ saying, this is definitely my journey. My left foot, hip, shoulder. And then, yeah, Deanna as well saying, I wake up around 3 a.m. almost every time. And Cryo say, I'm starting to think it's our guides waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually a great time if you want to have an out-of-body experience.
You can do way back to bed a bit.
Way back to bed a bit, and that will work out fine.
Or if you don't want to have the out of body, you can just say, you know what, I'm just going to sit here with the intent to meditate. And if you do fall back to sleep, it's a great way for you to have a dream that can appear more lucid, as you would take as a lucid dream. But really, all OBEs, you're coming at your body regardless. Like, your soul doesn't have any business knocking around there. They're there all day.
Yeah.
Like, they're busy. Those times they're busy. So, yeah, you can have some really great experiences if you just breathe with intention and lie there and just focus in on yourself, on your heart space. Do some deep breathing. You can have other types of experiences where you go within and then see what unfolds from there. Okay.
So yeah, many of us are up at 3 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Some of you have been hiding some okay. So some of you have been hiding some hidden qualities, would I say? So stuff that you have hidden away from people, whether it's some abilities that you've had or some actual physical things, like maybe you're really good at, I don't know, something particular. I'm seeing trains, like, little model trains. Maybe you're really good at something that people find really unique, and obscure type of hobby, but you're excellent at it.
We're talking about that, that thing where they on ice and then you use these brushes and then
something that people will be like, what, like you random. Do that?
Yeah.
Something that feels like it's random or very specific to people. There's part of this collective that are very, very versed and good at it. There's going to be some sort of recognition to you. And I know it's something you've been trying to hide, but in that field, you'll be getting some sort of recognition and a way that and an opportunity will come through where you can come forward and start either showing that, displaying that, or getting more into it. Whether that will come in form of somebody who used to do it, who's maybe hanging up their gloves, donating some of their stuff to you, or somebody seeing you and being really inspired by it and being like, oh, I've got this thing, and inviting you somewhere where you can really flourish in this very specific thing. So whether that be, and I'm seeing like something like NASCAR racing, or there's something like crochet club or whatever it is, even though you've tried your best to hide it, not really talk about it with much people outside of that small group, you've been seen and spotted, and these people are that you've got this pouring in, coming in towards you, of people who have found an appreciation in that talent that you do. And this is going to allow you to flourish. And you are kind of, as a result, going to be noticed or on display in some ways. And I'm not saying it in a way of fame, but whatever that means to you, as a means, you will be seen as a means of inspiration in that field as a result of being seen in this way, and being for all the years you put in. It's like you put in that many years, or that much effort, or that much time into it, and for as long as you've held the secret about it, someone's about to come and like give you back that appreciation for it. And that will be, you're going to be like the person who, I don't know, it's like a trophy, like you'll win the trophy, or there's a cup, or whatever it is that is a big deal in those circles, you're going to be a part of in some way. So that's lovely, because even though you've tried so hard to kind of like hide it from other people, and for some of these circles, you have like a name for people who don't do it. It's like that. It's like when people who are into Harry Potter call the rest of the humans muggles. It's that type of thing, but you like have your own name about it. It's that, but you're that's going to be a really beautiful harvest season for you, as far as like, it will be very fruitful for you, very fulfilling. Yeah, very fulfilling, because it's something that you've done without any expectation other than just for the joy of doing it. So this is really beautiful for you. And this is soon. This is coming in soon. Yeah, and it will definitely be a cause to celebrate. So there's definitely be fireworks. It will be by surprise. It will be coming in soon, but it's definitely going to be a cause to celebrate for you. It will be a personal achievement. So hide as you might, not quite, is what I'm hearing. You've been seen, you've been spotted. You're actually really good at this thing, and it's going to be noticed. So yeah, I'd say be prepared, but it's going to take you by surprise regardless. So hey. All right.
Sounds good.
Anything else? This has come through.
Koyo say, I felt my blanket getting pulled off me. Come to find out, it's not the blanket moving, it's my soul floating out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's best time. And you got thank you from Juliana as well. I mean, she's saying that's beautiful. Diana as well saying the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know if you don't get it as well, but you feel like your knee, like you've kicked your knee up, or like you've like jerked your arm, and then you realize, oh, that wasn't my arm. That was like my soul arm, just like like coming, moving, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm on the move. It's all right. And then usually I know, okay, I'm just gonna let it happen, and I'll just try. I'll fall asleep, or I'll just let it be and go to where I got to go to, mind my business. Okay, so a new there's a new line of frequency coming forward, and I'm guided to use those cards over there. Can you get me just these ones right here, please? All right. I keep on hearing the name, like, you know, I think this is more galactic. Hang on, what's going on? A star? Like a star? Akbar. What are we talking about here? All right. What's this crossroads here? All right. So there's somebody's out there and they are receiving way more dreams than they used to the point of where it's like you wake and you're like, did I just have like 5 back-to-back dreams? You did. And this here is because you have got to the point where you are settling your waters, but there's this like resistance to believe that you're the type of person who can have prophetic dreams, but your daily life is showing you opposite than that. So you're kind of like not fighting it, but every time you say, well, then prove me more, you're getting more dreams. You're being proved more. So we're getting Ace of Cups here, where this is literally you on you, your higher self right now, pouring into yourself to the point where now you have the information to not only serve you in your waking life, but to also serve those around you as well. And when I mean serve, it doesn't mean now you have to be in service or be of service to people. It just means the ability to be able to read more than just into your own field and your own dimensional spaces. It's now more than that. This is something that is overflowing for you. This is definitely something where you are a dream walker. And I'm seeing you're walking into other people's dreams and you're like, did I just dream that? Or did I? So yeah, and you're at odds about it, but it's something that Source is saying to you, look, I'm going to keep on sending you these dreams and these signs. You did ask for it a very long time ago. You may have forgotten, but it's here now. It's just about whether or not you're going to surrender to this. I know you've probably framed it as something that's like a special superpower, but it's yours for the taking. So it's up to whether or not you'd like to lean into this.
I'm saying, okay, I'm going to cry on my keyboard. Thanks. Creo say that was beautiful, Shem, by the way.
Okay. Thanks.
And then my heart just started pounding.
Okay.
Tom said the heart knows.
This is a new this is a new life for you. So I've got the world that jumps up, and that's a major arcana. So look, I've got the world and I've got the 9 of Cups, and I think they speak for themselves, guys. Whoever's going through this, why ask yourself this reflection? I would just ask you as like friend to friend, look. So you've asked for these things to come through. You've asked to connect. You've asked to know for yourself, right? And before, where you've had to maybe, you felt like you're totally cut off and you don't have this information. Now it's coming in. What about you is saying that you don't deserve this, or that this is beyond you? Is that the same you that called this in, or is this the part of you that you don't want to release? Because this 9 of Cups is not only release, but it's open to receiving. As she jumps up and releases these cups, she also has this box of treasure behind her. You see what I mean? It's that and some. You're not losing anything. She still has. Doesn't matter how much you throw out, you still have. Source is saying you're ready. It doesn't matter how much you pour in, you still have. It's an overflow. You're not going to suddenly run out of these dreams or this ability. The world is now here. It's asking, is it time for you to surrender? This is a new cycle for you. And this is not gender specific. Is it time for you to surrender to this? If you see in both pictures, she's outstretched. And it's funny that it's a she in every turn, because this is part of your balancing your divine feminine, your ability to receive. And as you're receiving these downloads, you see, she's receiving. The world, she's receiving. Are you going to surrender to receiving? Or are you still going to listen to the narrative that it has to look a certain way, or it has to be a certain person, or you have to have some sort of training or whatever it is? Because now you're getting it. What are you doing with it? Source is saying you just have to throw your hands up at some point and take what's given.
Yeah, Julian is saying releasing all the narratives and standing in your truth. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. We got the 7 of Wands and we've got the 2 of Wands. We got the 7 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. But what this is letting me know is, look, these are skills that you've had in your back pocket for a hot minute. But and again, with the moon, these are stuff that has probably only come to you in dreams. And you thought that, nah, I know I dream. When I'm in my dreams, I can do this. When I'm in my dreams, I can heal people. When I'm in my dreams, I can, I have my telepathy or my clairvoyance or my claircognizance. But in my waking life, it's something I long for. In my waking life, it's something I'm trying to strive towards. It's not anymore. In your waking life now, for your new cycle, it's something that you simply have to surrender to, because it's here and it's here to stay. That message is for someone.
So Tom saying, go ahead. And know how worthy you are of yourself. You need no permission. You were born with permission. And need none. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need the permission to do this. This is something that it's between you and Source, and it's whether or not you want to allow this to come. You just surrender to it. It's already there. You called it in. It's here now. It's not just in your dreams. It's ready. Ground it in and be done with it. It's still now down to your choice. No matter the input now, this is the moment that you choose. So
will you decide to receive it?
Yeah, when you just decide to allow it, decide to receive. All right, that's my readings for today.
Oh, that's great.
It's been wonderful. Thank you for allowing me to do so, guys. And it's been an honor. So I really much enjoy this.
So for the one who don't know yet, Shem also offer 2 reading services. One, it's a private email reading, so you can, if you don't want to be face to face, it can happen that way, and one-on-one. All the links are in the description. There's also Shem's book, the pillars of governed mind, what she's explained today. And you also have the ritual, 7-day ritual, the command, command your reality. That's for manifestation, covers different areas of your life. And if you are interested, there's a bundle with the audio that you can actually use and immerse yourself with the sound, which can be helpful for the one that may not want to necessarily have to read like that. So you just would essentially repeat after the words you hear. And for anything else, it's in the description. If you want to donate or buy us a coffee, every link are in the description.
As always, it's been a wonderful Sunday chat with you guys, and we'll see you again very soon. Like I said, lots happening this month. John's conversation and much more. Much more. All right. Love. Absolutely. As always.
Much love, everyone. Thank you.
Have a beautiful day. See ya.
Bye. Ciao.